Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to officially call this public meeting of the Mayor and Council to order. At this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer and/or reflection as we think about residents in our community and the greater community who may be in need during the holiday season. And of course, our thoughts are still with the conflict in the Middle East, and we hope for the safe return of all hostages. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please note the fire exit behind you into the main parking lot, and to my left, your right, into the main hallway. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this act, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of New Milford have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall. Notices have been sent to the record in the Ridgewood News. The mission of this governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy that will safeguard the infrastructure, provide fair, honest, courteous, and professional services, establish a sense of trust and accomplishment between all residents, and through research and prudent planning, seek to minimize risk while improving our services. We are sensitive to the needs and satisfaction of our taxpayers, while realizing that this governing body cannot be all things to all people, within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. At this time, I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Sandhusen.
Here.
Councilman Saraki Hurley.
Present.
Council President Duffy.
Here.
Councilman Brodsky.
Here.
Councilman Seymour. Councilwoman Grant.
Here.
Mayor Petrino.
Here. Okay. First thing on the agenda tonight is unfinished business. And at this time, I would ask for approval of the minutes for the November 13th, 2023 work and closed session meetings.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Under new business, item number 1 will be overnight parking and MPD. And with us tonight, we have Chief Clancy, who's going to start us off. And then
Sure. Good evening, Mayor and Council. When COVID hit, the pandemic, the world got a little crazy. Everybody was working from home, going to school from home, and our overnight parking enforcement was suspended, and for good reason at the time. Since then, everything's basically back to normal, and our traffic complaints have, mostly parking, have risen, and in meetings with our council liaison and amongst ourselves and with other police departments, everyone is bringing back, who has it on the books, their overnight parking statute enforcement. We haven't enforced it since, I think, 21, and we think it's a good idea to bring it back now, and think it will help with a lot of the complaints that we've been getting. Prior to 2020, it had been in place for 50, 60, 70 years, way before us. And most of the residents knew the deal. There was no parking between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. As time went on, they realized back in the day that some people needed permission once in a while. Circumstances arose. Then the police department used to start a list each night of who was excused, who had a good reason. Excused from we would use our discretion with those cars on the street. That led to, that got a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? Out of hand. That got out of hand, and the desk officer at the desk in the police station did not even have time to answer emergency calls or anything. The phone was ringing so much. So we went to an online system, and we were in the process of going to a better online system when everything shut down. In our planning stages of bringing this back, I've spoken with other police departments. where there is a computer program out there, which we have acquired, where people can put themselves into a list that is excused for the night, up to a certain amount of times per month. We think this is the easiest way to do it, fairest way to do it. Therefore, if somebody has exigent circumstances, an emergency, construction, they'll have permission to park in the street. Within the ordinance itself, there are, it covers exemptions of streets that are not part of this ordinance, and it's mostly around the apartments where parking is an issue, where we have street parking is allowed. So we're here to kind of recommend or tell you that we would like to bring this back. We're thinking right at the beginning of 2024.
Yeah, this is a conversation it's been ongoing. We have seen more problems with the on-street parking with no restrictions. The ordinance has always been in place. We've just suspended the enforcement of it.
Right.
And the streets that you mentioned are the same streets that were previously. It was Leonard Drive, Fowler Drive, and Bulger. We had an exception for tenant parking on certain streets. None of that would change.
No.
I think you're correct where I think we hit a happy balance where this new program will allow certain relief to people, and I believe this goes by license plate, correct, not address?
That's correct, yeah. Lieutenant Paisano is here to answer any questions on that program. He's kind of been installing it and, running some practicals on it. So if anyone has any questions, we can refer to him. But we have acquired it, and we're going to implement it as soon as we can. And it seems to be working well. It tracks it by car, not by house. So if you have 2 cars and you have, 8 days of construction, 4 cars, 4 days, 1 car, 4 days another, you can get kind of creative that way if you need to. But we think it's the fairest way to do it.
What is your target date for starting?
We'd like to start January 2nd, which I think is the first Monday in Tuesday. It's not the holiday, so Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. And we would, if and when we get the okay, December would be like an announcement month.
The ordinance that we're looking at tonight, I think exempts it until the 15th of January.
Really? Okay.
December 15th to January 15th.
Okay. I stand corrected. And we'll start the 15th, or whatever that first Monday is, because the 15th could be a Saturday or Sunday. So, as you can see, sometimes we need a little flexibility with it. And we've spoken about this ordinance, and, the court is familiar with it. Most of our officers are familiar with it. I think most of the residents are, but we would do like a month of warnings, month and a half of warnings on a car at night, stuff like that. We're not looking to make this a major.
We also have residents that have moved in since COVID
Sure.
who have never had the parking restriction. So we're trying to.
It'll be a surprise to them,
Yes,
yeah.
we should definitely be education and going back to what we did like other communities, like Dumont done it, I think they did it a month ago.
Yes,
A month or 2 ago, they actually put their restrictions back in place.
right.
And I think one of the things we never thought of, because there were parking committee meetings before COVID, one of the effects that I don't think anyone brought up was we've noticed the people like abandoning cars on the street,
That's
parking
true.
them for weeks
Yeah.
without moving them. And that's something,
This would take care of things like
Yeah.
that especially, yeah. Kind of cleans up the street in that sense.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We would use our signboards in specific spots around town where they get the most traffic so people can see it. Obviously, our web page, Facebook, whatever social media we can push it out on, we'll try and let everyone know. And like I said, like a month or a month and a half of warnings rather than summonses. I think that's pretty fair also. And that's what we'd like to start doing. So, you can open up to questions or anything like that if you guys have any. Or
Any other questions for the chief or?
I have a question. What is the summons fee?
I believe the fee for that is in the area of $52 or $54.
Thank you.
Yeah. Double check on that tomorrow, but pretty sure it's $54. Yeah, from what I remember.
Do you store the license plates in this program for perpetuity, or it's just,
No, it's all web-based,
So the program itself just has.
So you just have to come up, otherwise. Give your name and address, please.
Exhibit 1. So my understanding is that, like, I ran some tests on it. So if I put it in for November, the plate, it tells you at the top how many more times you have available. If I change it to December, it goes back to, it'll tell you the number that you have available for that month. And then I think once that month passes, then it just kind of goes. And then, yeah, it just resets
I
itself.
just want to emphasize, it is per car, not per house.
It's per license plate.
Per license
Yes,
plate.
Per license plate. That's it. So, and then we have the ability to run the reports to give to records and courts and whatever that we need to.
I have a question for the lieutenant. If someone doesn't use their allotted amount for the month, do they roll over?
No, it's four times per month, per license plate. So if, like the chief said, if there's 3 cars, that license plate for that car gets 4 times. So people could rotate through, which is, you know.
So there's no
You can't sell
accumulation.
10 times to your neighbor.
I was just going to ask that if you can.
Right.
No sick time
Sell it
on
to your
overs.
neighbor, yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation on overs.
It's designed for the people who, in certain cases, need it, you know? Which I think most places in New Milford can accommodate.
Just so you know, like going back to when we did do it and when we used to work the desk before we were at these levels, I could start the night and put in about 15 license plates of people who just had an open driveway and didn't want to put their car in the driveway. It became a bit of a game. You know, it was a little unfortunate that they were abusing the system. So this will put an end to that. And also, a question that always comes up that nobody asked is snow. When it snows, no one can park on the street at all. And on our program, you just click a box. He was just showing me before we came over here. And it doesn't allow anyone to enter anything, snow-covered roads, no parking whatsoever. And historically, we've been pretty good at handling that, and the residents have been very good with that too. So that shouldn't be a problem, is what I'm saying.
My understanding is that this is not a very expensive program.
No, so that was helpful too. Yeah, it was only a couple $100 to get this, and actually this program opens up a couple of other programs to us.
Licenses.
Yeah, that have to do with like pet licenses and construction things, and yeah. So
How would it work for pet licenses?
we actually didn't dig too far into that yet, but I can come back another time.
Right, and just to be clear, a resident would actually go on and log in their license plate, not an officer, correct?
Correct. Somebody from home would do it themselves. They would have to like actively do it
Mhm.
to get themselves on this,
List.
exempt list
Right.
for the night. And as the officers drive around between 2 and 5 in their section of the town, if they see a car, they can pull it up on their car computer and see if they're on the list or not.
What if someone doesn't have a computer? I know it's rare, but it does to people who don't.
If that happens, we'll have to, in a rare case where that happens, we would probably allow them to call. But I think, from what I see, even my mom, who's 80, has a phone.
Right,
She can
you can
probably
do it on the phone, right?
You can do it on the phone, you can do it on the computer, you can do it on anything with the internet.
Is there any limit or how many times you can give a ticket? What happens?
No, if the car is out there every night, violating the ordinance, we can give it a ticket every night. I think that would come more into play after they get a few, where the judge in here at court would probably handle something in that sense, rather than just getting a ticket every night.
Thank you.
Sometimes they do something like merge a bunch and give a little explanation. That's usually how that works.
Is there an app? Can someone download an app to their phone? to
It's just
connect with the
it's a
system?
website. So when we publish that website, they can save the link to their phone, and then that will just bring up the website, which I'm sure it has a mobile version on it. I don't believe that there's an app for
If
it.
there is, that will be part of our information campaign, because it sounds like it should have an app, you're right, I agree.
Perfect.
But if it's just a website, we'll put that out too, whatever it is.
And holidays excluded, right?
Right, so built into the ordinance
Fourth of
itself
July.
is, yeah. And when you log on to this, whether you push the button to get on or you log on, there is a disclaimer that we control, and it can say,
whatever, we could put on it, you know, parking suspended for the holidays from, I don't remember the days, I think we did from Memorial Day to Labor Day in the ordinance. So we could put in the disclaimer, parking suspended from Memorial Day to Labor Day, do not put your vehicle on the overnight list. If somebody does, let's say we suspend it for a certain holiday, any of the administrators have the ability to go in and delete it so people don't use up their 4 times per month. But the disclaimer, and they have to agree to the disclaimer that's on the site. So it's not like the disclaimer pops up and connect to your car, you have to click agree for it to go to the next thing for you to put the car in.
Yeah, most of the questions you guys are asking, we asked earlier. We were on a Zoom with the creator of this, and other towns are already using this and have said it's been great and really helpful and helps the court, helps the police, helps records.
Most important, it stops the inundation of calls to the desk.
Yeah, it frees up the desk officer to handle emergency
That was always
calls.
a problem.
Yeah, that was a big problem. And like I said, I think the next step here would be an information campaign. Just so everybody knows, and Lieutenant Paisano and Captain DeGenio.
Captain DeGenio's cell phone number will go on all the things.
Probably, yeah.
I already gave it out.
They'll put up the signboards in the right spots, and that's their specialty. And, you know, moving around here and there to make sure everybody sees them. We'll do what we can. But this should alleviate a lot of the legit parking complaints that we have fielded over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit of a change, but, you know, we've
Once we get into the routine, we've done it before, so that's why we're not too uptight about it.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is Committee on the Arts grant.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I'm not an artist, but I do appreciate the arts. And a number of years ago, when I became affiliated with the Art Center of Art in New Jersey, and also a councilwoman, I realized that I wanted to bring more art into the borough. And I worked with the Art Center to bring in a display of art every few months and hang it in Borough Hall on that wall as you enter, which is rather bleak and bland and empty. And it really brightened up the place, and people appreciated it. And it was different forms of paintings. It was gelée and oil and watercolor, and I enjoyed it very much. And each display would hang up for 3 to 4 months. And that ended because of the pandemic, of course. And then a sculptor who lives in Bergen County approached the Library Board of Trustees asking if there was any interest in creating a sculpture garden, and the board was very enthusiastic about it. So I worked with the sculptor and others, and we created the sculpture garden at the library, and it was dedicated 2 years ago. So more and more art is coming into the borough and making it more interesting, more exciting, and more beautiful, or interesting, certainly. And the sculpture garden, I actually wrote an article about it, and it was published in the New Jersey Municipalities magazine and earned the cover for us. So, and that magazine goes to every municipality in the state. So everybody is aware that New Milford has this magnificent sculpture garden. And then last year we were approached by Arts Bergen to find out if we'd like to join with them in a grant to create 3 artistic benches, and we of course agreed. And the benches were painted at National Night Out and were placed around the borough last month. One is at Hardcastle Pond, one is at the library, one is at Bailey Park. So we have been making lots of progress on bringing the arts world into New Milford and opening New Milford to art. And so it occurred to me that we should continue, I'd like to continue that, and bring other forms of art, in this case, performing arts. And we now have the wonderful pavilion at Knightsfield, which is absolutely the most perfect place to have outdoor concerts, outdoor theater, outdoor choral performances, and so on. And so I'd like to create a committee on the arts to create at least one more events per year, ranging, covering a wide variety, whether it's a concert or choral performance or a theatrical performance, and hopefully have it at the pavilion outdoors where people can bring their lawn chairs and really enjoy a lovely experience. So if there are any questions, I'd entertain them. If not, I'd like to make a motion to create the Committee on the Arts.
there any questions?
I know it sounds like a great idea.
Oh, and in addition, I should say, Councilwoman San Houston, because of we'll be participating in the arts, we will be getting points towards our Sustainable New Jersey certification.
You know, that makes me happy.
I think it makes all of us happy because it does bring more back to the borough for us to enjoy and recognizes us. And so I'm looking for performing artists or people who like to create events to contact me if they're interested in joining the committee. The committee will be limited to 10 at this point, so please, I'd love to hear from you. And I'd like to make a motion to create the Committee on the Arts.
A second.
You think?
Yeah. Motion second. Should do roll call. Make a roll call, please.
Councilwoman San Houston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rocky Hurley,
Absolutely, I think this is going to open up our town to each other and other towns as well. I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Council President Duffy,
I vote yes, thank you.
Councilman Grotzky,
Yes.
Councilwoman Grant.
Yes. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
It'll be committee structure, bylaws.
We have to update ours to edit,
Right.
right?
So will this,
You're forming a committee.
so will this,
would adopt the bylaws and presume.
No, but I mean, the mayor and council lists our standing committees.
Oh, yeah, we'd have to amend that to
I'll do it at the reorg, I'll just add it.
right.
creation of the new committees
Okay.
and adopt their bylaws.
I would hope that we would have, be able to appoint committee members at the reorg meeting.
And the liaison.
Oh, and the liaison, which I hope I will be.
You will volunteer.
I will volunteer,
We'll
yes,
see.
absolutely.
We'll see. Ira looks artistic to me, so.
Yeah, I would,
Give it a paintbrush.
No, I think Committee on the Arts is a great idea, especially when you consider, the Art Center of Northern New Jersey is in Milford as well, so, it's a great foundation. Plus, we have fantastic things going on in our schools, so I think it's just
Absolutely.
bridging everything together.
Oh, we're going to get involved with the schools as well.
Marching band,
Yeah.
theater program.
All kinds of things.
It's
It's
fantastic.
exciting.
Yes. Okay, item number 3, schedule updates. Saturday, December 2nd, Santa visits by helicopter, sponsored by the New Milford Police Department and the New Milford Public School District. Is that 9 o'clock? I have the time off in there.
I think you're right, I think the gates open at 9:30.
Gates open at 9:30,
Arrives at around 10.
so 9:30. We'll be at the New Milford High School football field. For more information, you can go to the New Milford Police Department's Facebook page. On Sunday, December 3rd, is New Milford's annual holiday tree lighting, sponsored by the New Milford Public Events Committee. It will start at 6 p.m. at the New Milford Borough Hall. For more information, it's on the borough website, and it's been on the Office of the Mayor Facebook page. On Thursday, December 7th, is New Milford's annual menorah lighting. It is also sponsored by the New Milford Public Events Committee, also at 6 p.m. at the New Milford Borough Hall. And for more information, it'll be on the borough website as well as the Office of the Mayor Facebook page. Saturday, December 9th, is New Milford's first nativity lighting, sponsored by New Milford Public Events. It will be at 6 p.m. at the Borough Hall. Information is on the borough website and the Office of the Mayor Facebook page. And on Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, is the Environmental Resource Inventory Celebration, sponsored by the New Milford Environmental and Energy Commission. It will be at 7 p.m. It'll take place at the New Milford VFW. And for more information, it will be on the borough website and the Office of the Mayor Facebook page. Now, in between all of these things, the New Milford Police Department is currently running their toy drive. They're looking for unwrapped toys. It is going on now through December 15th, and the drop-off locations are the New Milford Police Department headquarters lobby, as well as there's a bin and ShopRite. Santa's mailbox, they are taking letters from November 23rd through December 24th, sponsored by the New Milford Police Department, and the mailbox is on the Borough Hall lawn on Raywood's Drive. So get those letters in so we can get them to Santa and hopefully get it under your tree. Are there any other events that I missed?
do you want to get the date on reorg?
Reorg is January 3rd at 7
Wednesday,
p.m.
January 3rd, 7 p.m.
And I just want to add that the Environmental Commission is going to be having it's going to be a fair They're going to have some presenters and speakers. So it's a family-friendly event, and there will be food.
When?
That's the January 16th event. So,
Cheese platter would be nice.
duly noted. Are you sharing the cheese platter, or should I get you one all of your own? Oh, you
I'll
didn't.
just take those kisses.
Moving on to item number 4 is the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. For our engineering update, the New Jersey DOT local area infrastructure grant application was an application for milling and paving on Steuben, Clinton, Linwood, Roosevelt, and Maple in the amount of $379,643, and the application was submitted to the DOT on October 30th. The NJDOT Boulevard and graphic traffic signal, there's no change on this project. The equipment delivery delays pushed the installation of the traffic light to spring 2024, which is just around the corner. Prospect Park basketball court lighting, the foundations, poles, and electrical equipment have been installed. The Prospect Park playground, the project was completed last week, looks great. NJDOT Main Street streetscape project, the base survey plans have been completed by the engineer and design is underway. The French Brook Channel remediation materials have been submitted to the DEP in advance of a pre-application meeting which is to be scheduled. NJDOT 2024 municipal aid, this project is for the mill and pave of the boulevard north of Henley up to 451 Boulevard. The project's being scaled proportionately to the grant award of $189,939, which is just over half of the requested amount of $359,532. The borough's FEMA application for the elevation of 16 properties has progressed to the next level. A notice was posted on the borough website and advertised in the Record on November 21st, offering a 15-day window for comments on the application. With regard to the borough social media, we're just getting ready to start our Instagram page, which will be hand in hand with our Office of the Mayor Facebook page. That should be up and running by the end of the week. And the next meeting of the Mayor and Council is scheduled for Monday, December 18th. We have just one meeting in December. And that's it for me.
We're going to start engaging in Instagram so we can reach young people like me.
Oh, that's really a low blow.
Actually, I'm in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So we have a few ordinances up for introduction tonight. The first one is 2023:38, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask her to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter BH4 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Board of Health of the Borough of New Milford, entitled Nuisances, thereby amending subsection BH4-5, entitled Specific Nuisances Enumerated.
The purpose of this ordinance is to revise Chapter BH4 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford to add prohibition of outdoor feeding to Section BH4-5. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilwoman Samuelson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siraki Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
The public hearing on this ordinance will take place at our December 18th meeting.
Mayor, I just want to mention that, once again, our inspectors from Mid-Bergen have identified a problem, an issue, and they have brought to us, examples of other ordinances in other towns, and we are making it work for New Milford, so it's a good thing.
Excellent.
I want to thank them for that.
The next ordinance for introduction tonight is 2023:39, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask her to please read the ordinance.
Yes. An ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford, entitled Traffic, thereby amending subsection 7-3.5, entitled exceptions to overnight parking regulations.
Okay, this ordinance is kind of what we discussed earlier with the police. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 7 entitled Traffic of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of Milford. Will modify exceptions to overnight parking regulations to include a period from Memorial Day through Labor Day, the week of Thanksgiving from December 15th through January 15th. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on the first reading?
Motion. Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Councilwoman San Newsom.
Yes.
Councilwoman Saraki Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
This ordinance as well, the public hearing will be on December 18th. The next introduction of ordinance tonight is 2023:40, and when the clerk has the opportunity, I ask you to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 22 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Trailers to rename the chapter Camp Cars, Trailers, Boats, and Watercraft, and to replace sections 22-1 through 22-3.
The purpose of this ordinance is to rename and amend Chapter 22 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford to identify specific vehicles that are prohibited from parking on the street or public property. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilwoman San Newsom.
Yes.
Councilwoman Saraki Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
The public hearing for this ordinance will also be at our December 18th meeting. Okay, the next one is 2023:41. When the clerk has the opportunity, I would ask you to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 7 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Traffic, thereby amending subsection 7-3.3 entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times on Certain Streets.
The purpose of this ordinance is to prohibit parking on the west side of River Road, north of Grand Avenue. So it's River Road, the west side of the street, from Ordo border to the northerly curb line of Grand Avenue. May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
Motion.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman San Newsom.
Yes.
Councilman Saraki Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
Public hearing for this ordinance will be at our December 18th meeting. And the final one on the agenda tonight is ordinance 2023:42. When the clerk has the opportunity, I'd ask you to please read the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of New Milford entitled Salary, adopted as Ordinance 9101 and amended annually by ordinance up to and including 2023:9.
The purpose of this ordinance is to establish the salary ranges for all full-time and part-time positions. This is something we have to do every year. It lists every position in the borough and their salary range. So, for instance, mayor, 175,000. Nope, I'm sorry, that's the police chief.
That's right.
May I get a motion to introduce this ordinance on its first reading?
So moved.
Second.
May I get a roll call, please?
Councilman San Newsom.
Yes.
Councilman Saraki Hurley.
Yes.
Council President Duffy.
Yes.
Councilman Grotzky.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graham.
Yes.
The public hearing on this ordinance will also be at our December 18th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at the resolutions? Are there any that need to be pulled for further discussion and or vote? Okay. May I get a motion to file committee reports with the borough clerk to be spread
So moved.
on the minutes?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, let's go around real quick and get some highlights and updates, and we will start with Councilwoman Graham.
Updates. Everything is working smoothly at the library. The planning board is meeting tomorrow night to discuss the continuous discussion of the master plan, and I've been working on organizing this committee on the arts. So that's my report tonight.
Excellent, thank you. Councilman Grotzky.
Thank you, Mayor.
On November 10th, Chief Clancy received a letter from a gentleman by the name of David J. Lagrone, who is the regional manager of CVS Organized Retail Crime Unit. And I'm going to just read some excerpts from his letter. The actions of Sergeant Derek Medich, Detective Jeffrey Campisi, and Detective Samuel Gerace merit the highest commendation, and the quality of their work represents the highest standards of excellence that has been associated with New Milford Police Department. Most recently, he goes on to say, most recently, the investigations involved a repeat offender that had been targeting CVS stores in Bergen County, including twice targeting our CVS location at 880 River Road in New Milford. Sergeant Medich, Detective Campisi, and Detective Gerace were able to identify and charge the repeat offender, who was linked to 9 separate thefts in Bergen County with a total dollar value less of over $12,000. The identification and prosecution of this repeat offender is greatly appreciated by CVS and its store employees. He goes on to say, as regional manager for CVS Organized Retail Crime, I've worked with law enforcement professionals across the United States. I can confirm to you that the 3 gentlemen are a valuable asset to our agency, the citizens of the borough of New Milford, and the law enforcement community. So shout out to Detective Campisi, Sergeant Medich, and Detective Gerace.
So it's good to get good letters like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
That's it.
Council President Duffy.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to remind the council that the fire department, specifically Company 1, is still, an invitation is open to 4 members of the council to come on over and see their very, 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 very old truck that they are hoping for a replacement. So they are open Tuesday before 6:30 or Thursday at 6:30. So please see me afterwards, and I will convey our attendance to the chief. As I mentioned before, as far as the health department goes, I can't emphasize enough how important the work of our inspectors is, and how they have been coordinating with the, DPW and PD as far as property maintenance, as well as just keeping a good eye out in the Milford for pop-up situations that can be handled at our level on the Board of Health. So those are my reports.
I would like to just echo that. The people that we're working with right now from Milford have been fantastic.
Yes.
Very helpful, very pleasant, very responsive. It's been really good. Yeah,
Sounds like
very
a
nice.
nice change.
Yes, very good.
Is that at Fire Company 1 or 2?
That's one.
1.
I'm sorry.
I thought you said, but I wasn't sure.
Yes, fire company.
Is there anything else?
No, that's,
It's okay. Thank you. Councilwoman Sarah.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor has listed all of the events that we have going on for the next couple of weeks, so we've been a little busy. Right now, it's a quiet time after the holidays, so we're trying to come up with possible different little ideas or thoughts to maybe add on to the parade or another little event. So other than that, it's quiet with everything else. The senior center is active as always, between their exercising and them having lunch and going out to different.
Yeah. There's never downtime.
I can't keep up with all the things they're doing. They're really buzzing. And that's really about it for now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sandy.
Thank you, Mayor. The Green Team is rolling out the Trex Plastics Recycling Program, It's a soft rollout, so there's a bin at the Borough Hall in the lobby right now, and more information will be coming. There is a public information program on its way. I have the bad news is the JIF report. Cybersecurity is going to be very important this coming up year, so it's going to be very important for everyone to complete their trainings. So it's time to get your trainings and make sure you stay educated. I don't, Chris, have they posted those yet?
No, you'll definitely be, yes.
But don't delay on doing them because it's getting more and more challenging with cybersecurity. The benefit of completing your training is that it improves New Milford's ratings.
We get points?
Yes, we do. We get benefits, right, Chris?
And it also, it helps to protect us in the event that we have an event.
Well, yes,
We need
yes.
to be able to show that we're compliant.
But as long as we're going after points. Yeah.
It is definitely a cost savings.
Yes.
The more certified we are, there are 2 levels of certification. So the higher level of certification saves us more money. Great. Excellent. So everyone's participation is appreciated. And then I'll end with some good news is the New Jersey Film Ready certification is on its way, slowly coming out. I'm going to be coordinating with Sil Bressa on identifying some locations. The good news is that this program is, the Film Commission has, the State Film Commission has been moved to the division of, what, I'm blanking, I'm looking at business. Yes. And so this is a really nice opportunity to support our local business community coming up. So more information will be coming out. We're going to do a really nice job in making sure that everything, all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted as we come out with.
So do you want some of the committees or commissions to think of locations that might be of interest?
Yes, for sure. Especially the historic commission. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be coordinating with you all, and the sculpture garden. We'll be highlighting those things. And I know we've been having fun with points, but I just want to finish up by saying that when we're talking about points, it's a celebration really of all of New Milford Borough's hard work, and it's really celebrating everything that the borough and the committees do. And it also creates a foundation for the borough to be able to apply for grant money and more funding to do even more better things. More gooder.
More gooder?
Yes.
Can we get any points for our cemetery?
Probably.
Is there anything else?
I'm complete, thank you.
Thank you. The only thing I'd like to bring up was last week I did attend the Flood Mitigation Advisory Committee meeting, and I want to thank Mayor Arroyo of Westwood and the other Westwood representatives that came to New Milford's meeting. Basically, they are already established in the CRS program, which we are applying to get in. So we were able to pick their brain on different things, strategies that they've used to get in and to earn points. So we were taking that and see how that's going to work in New Milford. So I want to thank them for their time coming to our meeting and helping us out. Okay,
Busy little town.
What's that?
We're a busy little
We
town.
are, absolutely. Making a motion to open to the public.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing that there are no members of the public present, I ask for a motion to close to the public.
So. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Making a motion to approve resolutions 2023:253 to 2023:257.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be going into closed session. When we come out of closed, we will be taking no action and immediately adjourning this meeting. So at this time, may I get a motion to go into closed?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening and enjoy the holidays.